Welcome to Borderlands 3, it's Abyss, and in this video today, I'm going to go over a build for Amara. Now this build will have 3 different types of health regen, automatic second wind during fight for your life, and a ton of bonuses after using your action skill. Okay, we get 48 points to use, and the first tree is the Mystical Assault that we are going to work on. First skill is Do Harm. Killing an enemy will grant you a stack of Rush. I put 2 skills into this, which will increase my action skill damage to 1.8% per stack. Now the max stack is 10. Next is Fast Hands, and I put 1 into this. This will increase your reload speed, weapon swap speed, and mode switch speed. Next one, I put 2 points into this, and applying a status effect will grant you a stack of Rush. Our goal is to try to get our rush stacks to max 10, so when we use our action skill, we can do the most damage. Keep in mind, we need to use 5 points in order to move to the next row. Okay, so our next one is Soul Sap. This is going to be one of the 3 ways that we're going to regenerate our health, which is important if you are a solo player. 30% of all damage dealt by the action skill is returned to you as health. Keep in mind, this is one of 3 skills we need to equip in order to use. Next is Restless, and I put all 5 points into this simply because you will increase your action skill cooldown rate to 25%. Now this is something you don't have to throw all 5 into right away. As you're leveling up, you want to start, continuously putting some skill points into this. But the goal is to get our action skill back as fast as we can because this build has a lot of bonuses after using your action skill. Next is Transcend, and I put 3 points into this. And after activating the action skill, you will gain 38% accuracy and 27% critical hit damage. Next up is Ascendant. I place 1 point into this, and what sold me on this is the extra 20% for the Soul Sap. Now you will have 50%. Next, I like Deliverance because when her projection damages an enemy or object, it releases a homing elemental projectiles that triggers her action skill elemental effect on the enemies. Plus, the cooldown is only 28 seconds. Keep in mind, this is one of the 3 skills you need to equip in order to use. Next, we need to place another point somewhere. Even though I picked Fast Hands, I recommend Do Harm so that we can get that extra damage for the rush stacks. Next is Wrath. I place 3 points into that for the 20% increase gun damage after activating the action skill. And last is this tree. I placed 2 points here for the 16.7% damage increase to an enemy after they have been damaged by the action skill. Next tree is Fist of the Elements. I couldn't spend a lot of points here because they only give you 48 points to play around with. So I place all 5 points here for the 40% action skill status effect damage, 20% status effect damage, and 100% status effect duration, which I feel is going to be very useful. And my last point went into Illuminated Fist for the 75% increase melee damage, and her melee damage is converted to her action skill element. And the final tree is Brawl. I place 3 points into Root to Rise for the 24% increase max health. Next is Personal Space. I place 3 points here for the 36% increased damage to enemies that are close to you. Next is another health regeneration, and after using your action skill, this bonus will double for 5 seconds. So I placed 3 points here to regenerate up to 3% missing health per second. Next up is Helping Hands, and after using your action skill, your arms will remain active and grant you 28% damage reduction for 15 seconds. Another one of those bonuses that you get after using your action skill. Next up is our last health regeneration, and I placed 1 into this, but I believe this one can be useful Max stack is 5, duration is 20 seconds. Every time you deal damage to an enemy with the action skill, you'll get 1.7% increased gun damage and 1.7% of max health regeneration. Next up is Find Your Center, and 1 point for this. After using your action skill, you'll get 100% increased melee damage for 20 seconds. Next is Mindfulness, and I place 1 into this. Whenever you take damage, you will gain a stack of Mindfulness, which you will gain improved shield regeneration delay and movement speed. Max stack is 25, but the duration is 5 seconds. Next one is One with Nature, and I place all 5 points into this to increase my max health to 25% and elemental damage reduction 40%. With this, our max health is now sitting at an extra 49%. Next is Guardian Angel, and 1 point for this. When you enter a fight for your life, you will immediately gain a second win and restore 100% of max health, but the cooldown is 120 seconds. This is definitely worth the 1 point. Last point is going for Do Unto Others, and whenever an enemy damages you, an energy orb will automatically be thrown back at them, dealing action skill elemental damage. Cooldown is only 8 seconds. Alright, there you have it. We get an extra 49% max health, automatically get second win every 120 seconds, 36% bonus damage to up close enemies, 3 different types of health regeneration, action skill cooldown rate is 25%, plus a ton of bonuses after using our action skill. Now you can go to Borderlands.com and create your own mock build. They give you 48 points to play with. Other than that, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel. Plus, stay tuned for more Borderlands 3 videos, and I will see you next time.